time now for Coming In Hot with Brent Wallace and former Ottawa Senator Jason York.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Coming In Hot. Brent Wallace alongside Jason York. Apologize for the quick scramble. It's all Yorkie's fault. This show is always brought to you by Bet365. We have Shawn Donovan and Shawn Rivers will join us later in the show. Big show today. We just want to start your weekend off right.
Yeah, my week start off great, Wally. You and I had a nice day yesterday. We'll get into that later. And look at this, it's all I got a package. I don't get a lot of packages at my house. I don't know about you, but most packages that show up at my front door aren't for me. I think a lot of people, they're anyhow. So all of a sudden it's for me, and it's like this really cool Sens hoodie. Wow. And there's like a T-shirt in there and a hat. The hoodie's super comfy, but I don't know who sent it to me. It was from the Sens.
I sent it to you.
Yeah. There's no way you sent this to me. No. It's it might be from Matthew that runs our Alumni, who's our Sens kind of works for the Sens, but also helps us. I don't know. So whoever sent this to me, thank you very much. It's super comfy, and I'm enjoying it because I don't know about your house, but my house is very cool on the inside. So even if it's like 90 degrees outside, you got to wear a hoodie inside the house. Gets a little frosty in here.
Same. My kids complain about the temperature being a little. What's your thermostat at? Don't say Fahrenheit.
It's at 19, I think. 18 or 19.
Yeah, I think we're 19.5.
19, yeah. But I don't know. Maybe because I'm in a bungalow now, it stays nicely air conditioned.
There's no way that Dono is a 19.5 or he's on a farm. So I bet you it's just
Dono's a windows
open.
He's windows open, fresh manure coming in. He's the good Heartland smells.
Chickens on the counter, alive.
Donald's got a nice hair. He's got the pool in the back. He lives on a farm, but he's got all the amenities over there. Don't let him fool you.
We'll get to him in a sec. We will get to golf. We'll get to other topics as well. People asked me yesterday about being in the Good Guy Club. We can get to that later.
Wow, hold on. We'll talk about that later. Okay, we got still some work to do here.
Well, okay. Well, I guess we know the answer. Let's take care of some business, and then we'll get to Dono. This show brought to you by Simply Spiked. It is. Let's just say whether it's free agent frenzy or midsummer Sens debate, nothing pairs better with bold takes than a bold drink. Simply Spiked is fruity, fizzy, and built for hot days and even hotter storylines. We're talking pineapple, peach, mango. I'm a big blueberry fan at the moment, and a can of that, and you're basically sipping on summer, Yorkie. It's perfect for lake weekends, barbecues, or kicking back post-episode while you argue over whether the Sens are a playoff lock or just vibing on vibes. Even Yorkie's got a cooler full, though rumor has it he's hoarding the peach. So grab your crew, crack one open, and enjoy the flavor that's turning casual hangouts into full-blown Sens summer series. Simply Spiked. It's getting juicy. Find yours at simplyspiked.ca. Must be legal drinking age. And, of course, by Shoeless Joe's. Daily deals at Shoeless Joe's that basically speak for themselves. Burgers, wings, cold beer, solid prices. There's one every day, but today is Thursday. It's half-price wine and $10 flatbreads night. Perfect for catching up or kicking back. The flatbreads, by the way, are absolutely fantastic. Don't forget Caesar Sundays. If the game is on, a Canadian team that is, then the buds are $9 all game long. Shoeless Joe's, daily deals, big flavor, good times on repeat. Now, let's welcome our latest Sens Summer Series guest.
The Sens Summer Series.
Dono's ready to party in those pictures.
So Shawn Donovan is the first player to get a necklace. So you got a gold chain necklace in your opening.
Oh, nice. That's impressive. I love the shades. I like it. Looks good.
Those pictures look like back in the day. Maybe a little bit of rye to get the shades on there, Dono.
Get a little bit. A little bit of Gibson. I like it. I like the advertising. Shoeless. I'd spent a lot of time there after the coaching in Kempville. That was our hot spot.
Yes.
Best, eh?
Sorry. Yes. Locations for Shoeless Joe's in Kemptville and in Orleans.
How
Jeff is a fantastic guy. Sorry.
yeah, how good of a guy is Jeff Donald? How good of a guy?
I own a jersey, so I'm the bad guy, but he's got jersey. He loves it. He loves the game. He makes it fun to go over there and want to drink. So love it.
Do you know what I saw hanging in his Orleans location? Although I'm not sure it's still there, Yorkie, is an Alex DeBrincat jersey.
The cat, meow.
Sean, what do you keep your temperature at in the house on the farm?
Oh, boys, I hate AC, but
I know it.
I don't know. Whatever my wife keeps it at, I have no clue. I hate AC. I just like it is nice. I know you guys were talking about it earlier, but just nice to have. I don't know. I like fresh air. I hate coming into the humid. We complain about cold all winter long. Then you come into a freezing house. I hate it. So anyway, whatever. I don't hate it enough to fight with my wife about it. But anyways, I don't know
how many packages show up at your house on a weekly basis? Is Tria a package order?
Yes, there is packages for sure. Yeah. When you know the guys by name, it's not a good thing.
I knew it. Good.
We have packages that show up for a family member that doesn't live at our house, so that her husband doesn't know about all the shopping.
Well, what?
Yeah, we're a hoarder company basically. Yeah, they just packages show up. Anyway,
we get the boys still. Like Jordan and Riley, my two older boys, they're got an apartment downtown, so they don't have to drive an hour to go train and all that stuff. So we get their packages too, and we're just like a hoarding house too.
Okay, speaking of the boys, I heard Jorian. So I was golfing a couple weeks ago with Mark Stone, and he goes, "Dono's kid detailed my car." And he goes, he did the best job. Like, has Jorian got a detailing business going?
Oh yeah, he's got a van and all kinds of chemicals in there. I don't know how. Riley my younger of the two came home, and man, I stuck my head in that van. I don't know how you drive in 30-degree weather, chemical. Like it's like what a mixture. But the boys, yeah, they're doing detailing. He bought a van. They go around doing vans. They did Stoney's and. They'll do anybody's. They did a bunch of the Belleville guys at the end of the year before the season ended. They brought the van up and detailed a bunch of guys' cars.
So Jorian's he's playing in Belleville. He's a pro hockey player. How many pro hockey players are have a side job in the summer? I think that's awesome, by the way. Was this just all him?
Yeah, he wanted some. Plus, he wanted some for his brother that they can do together. And now that he's training heavier, like going harder at it, it's more Riley's job. You know, Riley's training hard too, but Jorian obviously has to get some rest and stuff. But he wanted to do this, and he's done all our buddies' cars and stuff, and loves it. So whatever. I just worry about the chemicals in there. It's crazy how high you get. Just sticking my head in for a second. I can imagine driving in it.
So who's doing the work on the farm then? You got both the boys with side jobs. The work's got to get done out there. Is it all lying on you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I love it, but we're not big enough yet to. But you know what? It's crazy. But Tree actually likes because we have a broodmare business where we breed horses, like jumping horses too, on top of the cows and sheep and stuff. So they're really tackling that. My daughter and Tree. So they get in there. Like this morning, we got up and. The horses had something wrong with their eyes, so you got to give it a little bit of drops in their eye, and they make sure that the horses are taken care of. And we just had a filly, like a little baby female horse, about 3 weeks ago. So what's that?
So you're a Chris Phillips, a little filly,
a little filly, a little baby baby big rig.
Okay. So because usually you drive out to the country, you see all the farms, and it'll say like. Jameson and Sons and Willie and Sons. You're like Donovan and daughter.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, my daughter's she loves it. She's a farm girl. So, but the boys are off doing their thing. So when I need them, because next week we'll be doing hay when we get like a 3 or 4 day sunny break without rain, then the boys will come in and they'll do the hay for the bunch of days. But most of the time they're training and it's left up to us. So we love it. So it's awesome.
How many? We'll get to hockey in a sec. How many acres of hay do you have?
I'm buying hay this year because we have more cows, but I'll do 60, 70 acres of hay myself that we'll do into round or square bales.
And so what makes you decide if it's round or square?
The cows we feed rounds to, and then we have horses that we bring in during the winter. So I'll make not a ton, but we'll make like 600 to 750 square bales, like the ones you can pick up, and then we'll need probably like 200 big round bales.
Wow, I pick up 2 bales at a time.
Yes. That's why you're coming next week. You're hired.
Hey, before we get into the hockey talk, are you is tomorrow a farm day for you? You got work to do? You got any time tomorrow?
Actually, the thing tomorrow is my daughter's going the provincials track, and we never leave the farm, but the boys, Riley will come and take care of the farm. So I'm going to Toronto, long story short.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. We got an opening tomorrow. Seeing if you want to golf.
That'd be nice, eh? Oh,
well, you're not allowed on the big course. I took Wally to the. So he's been belly aching for years. So we finally went out yesterday and we played the Royal 9. It was awesome, right? It was a great day, Wally. He actually hit the ball pretty good. Little fade, had a couple good shots.
I didn't embarrass you. That's all I was worried about.
We had some cocktails after. Well, he's making some progress, Donald. Like I'll say, he's come a long way. Was
Stoney with you guys?
He is on that after for some cocktails on the patio. Ben Hutton, who, by the way, Prescott guy. I know you like Prescott guys. Great guy. He was there as well. Andy Scott. And when you after golf, you get all the boys together, talk some shop, have some drinks. It was a good day. Wally's doing the work. He's doing the work.
Are you golfing all the time, Wally? What's going on?
No, that's the only time. The only swing I had this season was on the first tee. That was the first swing.
Actually, he striped the tube like a solid 185 down the middle. A little butter cut. It's a pretty good shot.
It was a complete fluke.
the chipping was a different.
9 or 18?
9's per 9. We did 9. Yeah,
we had some business to discuss, so we did 9, and it was like 100 degrees out. It was tad warm hot. Yesterday.
It was
that's hot. A place to be, eh? What a course, hey?
Yeah.
The Royal. That's where you, if you
as long as you follow the rules properly.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You got to follow. Hey, 2:00 today? We got an opening, Donald. You want it? You want in?
No, I got to take care of this garden before I leave. So I know.
Well, it's
Donald, say yes. I'll show up. You just say yes. I'll show up.
Actually, I'll tell you this: for a guy that never golfs, like, what do you play a year? How many rounds a year, Donald? Like 2, 3?
I played 3 this year, and they were all charity tournaments, so I haven't played my own ball this year yet.
Like Donald is I would say, if you ranked guys that never golf for being really good golfers, Donald is pretty friggin' good. He's got that natural farm swing, high, long, 320. It's true though. Like, and sets the record too for shortest membership at a golf course. He wanted to join a golf course. I'm like, you sure you want to join a golf course? I'm like, you're gonna get distracted. And would you stay 1 year at Canada?
What a drinking sport. But yeah, you took care of me. Actually, Yorkie's the one that got me in. He got me a deal, helped me out. So I owe a lot to him for that. That's big money. So anyways.
No.
It was the boys on Thursday. So like men's night, like that's the best, just drinking. Just an excuse to drink. I love it.
True. Very true. Speaking of getting drunk at golf courses, did you see the Nick Tarnaski? Well, I don't know if you haven't. I know you're on a farm, but has everybody seen the Nick Tarnaski video yet of the guy at the golf course who just gets obliterated?
This like the Hawk Tua, it's just going viral. Like we see it everywhere.
It is. I had no idea. I was talking to my buddy the Gooch this morning, and he's like, "Have you seen Tarnaski?" I'm like, "What?" And somebody referenced it yesterday.
I brought it up to you.
Okay, yeah, you brought it up because I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Donna, have you seen the video?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. It's I just can't believe, and I know you guys are gonna cheer me, but man, people videotape everything. Like there's a fight going on and somebody's videotaping it. Like I just can't. I find a hard time watching sports, and you get to see everybody in the audience who's paying, who could actually watch it on video after on TV if they PVR it, videotaping the whole experience, and then you got to fight with your buddies, and you're not. I don't know whose side. I guess he was on Tarnaski's side, the guy. But putting that up now, that put Tarnaski in the hot seat, right? He's going to be in trouble, maybe lose his job.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I basically haven't seen it yet. We got the clip here.
Okay,
I haven't seen it.
Do you understand the story? This guy's playing too slow in front of Tarnaski, who says, "You guys got to smarten up and get playing." I think they said he waited 23 minutes for this guy to tee off, and then the guy gets upset with him. Tarnaski throws him down. He should have put him right in the water, but he didn't.
Chucks him in the lake.
And then
you get the sound for this? Is there sound?
I got it all on record.
Listen to the swearing.
Hey, you want to fucking go, guys? Leave him alone. I wouldn't keep going back, you fucking moron. Hey! Bang!
Oh,
man.
Oh!
How to get in there?
Enough!
Are you still cheering on you?
So
Enough!
he still gets up.
Oh,
it finishes with the Tarnaski throws him down.
Doesn't he
Watch this. Okay, you got to go.
Hey,
Like that's wild to
fuck
me.
out of here! No, it's not gonna go well. It's not okay. Take him home or get him fucking out of here.
So,
get moving.
Yeah. Okay. So
I love this self-commentary in each punch. Bang, bang.
that's what I thought I was like, who's doing the bang? I'm like, it is Nick Tarnaski. That's
I think he was kind of pulling his punches a little bit. He's like going bang and like
they were pretty solid though. So Dono, I know you played with a ton of people and you played I think on 7 teams and around the same time. Do you know Nick at all?
I remember for sure playing against him like 100%. Like I wasn't in a million fights, but I thought I fought him or something happened with him. But like just because you run into guys, so many years. I think I've seen he play like 300 games or something like that. So there was a run. I know he's a tough kid. Like, it's not the best guy to run into at the golf course and try to like lip, especially the size of him. It's not like I'm not the skinniest guy in the league, but Nick's looking pretty big there. It's not an easy. I don't think you look at mountain of a man like that and just start lipping off, especially. But I guess the guy's buckled and he's slurring his words, so it's just one of those.
So how did it? So well, I didn't see the whole video, so give me the whole.
Yeah, that's the start. But the guys in front, who the dark colored shirt, they're already inebriated, and they're taking forever to play. They're super slow. So the group behind, which includes Tarnaski, is pissed, and they just want them to play behind them or let them play through. Or hurry up. And the guy got offended and started coming at him. I just found something on the old interwebs. Daniel Alfredson's 1000th game. Chris Neal fights Nick Tarnaski and has a Gordie Howe hat trick.
Tarnaski
all 2 assists and a fight.
They still can't get over the sound effects. Bang, bang, bang.
I don't think Neal's ever fought on a golf course, so Nick's got one on him.
Oh yeah. You said the Nealers that when you guys used to do your summer skates, those would get pretty crazy.
Oh, he's so competitive, right? And he's simmered down a lot. I've done it this year. Every Tuesday we play, and Neal used to get after, and he was still really competitive. So when he was losing, he wasn't fun to play against. When he's winning, it was a fun day. But when he's losing, and then Brom, Brom, who works for the Sens, he comes out and he's one of the trainers, and he almost gets as fired up as Nealer. He goes around running guys, and whenever he doesn't score, he doesn't come drink with the boys after. So he's awesome. But Nealer, he's calmed down. He's he knows he's as bad as us now. So the dream's over.
Nealer's older brother Dan's the best guy. He did their excavation here at my new place. Oh man, what a beauty! Dan played in those games too, didn't he?
Yeah, Dan played. Him and Nealer got after each other the one night. In the one afternoon night or whatever at the Sensplex. Somehow Spencer, who's about 13, 14, 15, he's a younger boy. Nealer's trying to show him the ropes, and I think he went too far. And then Dan stepped in, and they just had a little melee in the ring, and settled things up. And
there was a suspension.
See, that's
there was a suspension. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to deal with things. Deal with it, done with it, have a beer after.
Yeah, just deal with it. It's over with. The boys, nobody was hurt, and it's good laughs now. So, as we get older, then none of that's ever going to happen. So you just look back at the good old days.
Yeah.
I can't find you with a fight against Tarnaski at the moment. You did fight Kevin Bieksa and Luke Shen.
I think Dono, when I was in Boston, I had kind of a fight in the corner, and I remember Dono came in that fight. You remember that in the corner in Toronto?
On the protect the valuable player for
Right.
the Boston
Right
Bruins.
shot D.
Right shot.
yeah.
Protect him.
Is
Don't
it-
worry about Chara.
Is it so? Oh no, this is 07-08. You fought Brendan Bell when you played for.
That was
Boston.
it. That was it.
Oh, maybe that's the one.
That was the one where it was at the end of the game or something, and it wasn't a great
yeah.
fight. Don't look it up.
Oh yeah.
Well, my last
Black and white.
my last year in the league, I had no business being in the NHL anymore. I was like, I'd go to the rink like, how am I going to play this game? My freaking knees are sore, back sore. I basically bluffed my way through the fitness testing to get on the team. This was so like the doctors checking out my shoulder, Donald. I don't know if I ever told this story, and I have a really bad shoulder. I remember he's like, all right, check the shoulder out. Then he goes around and right down at the shoulder as I turn my back. He ends up testing the same shoulder twice. He's like, all right, we're good to go. You're good.
You're all good. Rookie at that camp, they had the two spectrums: Zdeno Chara, who was breaking records, and Yorkie cheating the.
Well, the best part of that camp was when when Savvy, Mark Savard, and Phil Kessel were doing the we had to do fat test, and they were with the trainer, and they locked the door in the room so nobody could see what their fat test rating was. I don't know if you remember this, Donna. We got like a coat hanger, and we picked the lock to the door. We open it up, and we see. I think it's Cass with no shirt on, and we go, fat test 20%. Are you kidding me? You're in the NHL.
Many a trainer made a big sum of money getting paid off for that fat test. Over the years, especially after the lockout.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's the thing. Like back then, when they did the fat test, because I think this was a long time ago. When they do it now, it's a little more computerized, and who knows what they do. But back then, they just take the calipers out. So when you got a fat test, they would pinch you low abs, side, chest, behind the arm, cheek. So guys would be getting this thing like, and they'd be arguing with the trainer. No, you're taking that's skin. That's not fat. And they'd be having an argument with the trainer, and like, do it again. That's not. The guys would be sucking their guts in. Like just.
Well, the thing is if the trainer liked you, he gave you a better score. He really did. So, and if the trainer didn't like you, you weren't going to get. If you went train with some guy he didn't like, you're in trouble.
Yep. Or if you didn't, or if a guy was coming back and you didn't tip the trainer enough, like cheap bastard. I mean, you're getting a high score on the fat test here.
There was great trainers, but the odd trainer in the league, man, did he work hard for tips, pushing the boys and kind of. They put you in the corner, especially when you're young guys. Like, you better tip, or I'm not taking care of you. And not in those words, but pretty much. And so you felt pressure at the end. I think that was the biggest pressure. It wasn't trying to make the lineup or anything. It was like, how are you going to tip the trainers out at the end of the year? Like as a young guy, you believe the amount you'd have to, But I mean, some guys took care of you and it was awesome. But man, there was pressure there because you didn't want to under tip because
Yeah.
I remember my first trainer I tipped and I sent a check to him, and this is terrible for me to say, but I put his nickname on the check. I didn't put his name. So he's like, no, come on, like I can't cash this. So he's got my nickname on
here. Cash a check. It says Dono on it.
Dono. It's me, honestly.
How old were you when you done that? Were you like
I was 19, 20. I guess 20. I guess at the end of my first year, so 20 or whatever. Yeah.
The fact you wrote a check is impressive.
Yeah, that's a start. Well, remember that first year, my dad was like, "What are you doing with your checks?" Because I got sent down. It was a lockout year, so January started, and then they sent me down, and I guess for playoffs, I didn't have a bank account, so I just put checks in my luggage. And my dad's like, "What are you doing with your checks?" I'm like, "I don't know. They're just going to my suitcase." So you're in you're in Kansas City right now with all your checks in your suitcase. I'm like, "Yeah, they are." And I had to go open an account, figure it out.
I bring it home with me.
You know how many guys probably didn't cash checks back in the day, like missed checks? I'm sure there was like tons of it.
Is it one of them is like Patrick Kane? Somebody high end that we like he just threw the checks on, like he didn't pay any attention. The signing bonus never got cashed. Like didn't know what to do.
The team's not going to remind you.
No. Not at all.
It's crazy though. Like guys who would come back into the league back then that would have no idea, like the simplest tasks, opening a bank account, having a Visa card, just especially guys who would let their agents do everything for them. It was like, I couldn't believe it. Like how uneducated guys were on just day-to-day life skills. But I guess I always say this about hockey players, and it's different now, but back then, like you were told what to do, when to be there. Basically, all you do is know how to play hockey, and it's pretty sad.
Well, the crazy thing is how many guys got taken for money. Like we all did from some financial advisor or whatever. But once you were trusted in that room, the guys would do anything for you. Yeah. And at the end of my career, I was like, I should have done that. I should have went in there and just got some guys invest in some condos and farms and made some real money. No, but like once you're trusted in the room, the guys would be like, okay, a gold stock for sure. Jimmy, like Yorkie's buddy, he says, let's invest in it. So now guys are a little sharper because I think they're more cognizant of it and aware of it. But back then, for a while there, you got in the room, they just ask for anything, you give it to them because you trust them. Because once they're in that kind of family part, they trust that they were well vetted from your teammates.
So one of the worst pitches, Donald, I don't know if this came around your room. This was back in mid 90s. Guy comes in, I forget who it was. He's like, guys, because at the time everybody was using Flexol. You remember what Flexol, Wally? It was like a hot cream pro athletes would put on their bodies before games. Everybody's using Flexol, and trainers would rub it on you before. And then there was Tiger Balm, which was even hotter, and all this stuff. And one day, I'm in Anaheim, and I forget who it was. Guy comes, he goes, guys, I've got something that's better than Tiger Balm. It's the best. They are rubbing it on racehorses out in Alberta, and the horses are winning. So, guys, let me try that. This is unbelievable. This is the best ever. So all of a sudden, everybody in the team is using this cream that they're using on horse races, on racing horses. And then, sure enough, a couple of guys invest. Bye-bye money. I didn't put any in that. No. I was like, not putting any horse cream on me. Like it's I was old school. I just stuck with the Flexol, Donald. Like Tiger Balm was too hot, way too hot.
You needed the deer antler spray that VJ Singh was using.
What?
The boys hear about that kind of stuff. They're all over it. Everybody's trying everything. If you hear something works on somebody, it's like give me some of that.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say there was a player. You would have played with him at one time. I don't want to, but he would always say, like, you have no idea how often we get pitch stuff to put our money into. It's like all the time.
Yeah.
Once they get in the room and they don't know, like, I didn't. Anyways, you're just not educated. I remember there was a young guy in the Sens. I won't say his name. He went on the Nashville, and I was telling him, I'm just like, just put yourself into ETFs, like the simplest thing. Don't trust anybody till you're done, because then you'll have time to kind of understand it. But just read some books. I gave him like 3 books. And I said, whatever you do, just don't give your money to somebody until you truly understand. And then like a week later, I see him on the plane. I'm like, whatever. I won't say his name. But I was like, did you read the books and stuff? He goes, no, I didn't read the books. Here, I want you, just take my money, Sean, and you invest it for me. I'm like, no, that's exactly what I said. Don't do that. Like, do not do that.
Take my money and invest it.
That is the opposite of what I'm telling you to do.
It's the opposite. Should have done.
Yes. You in that Kentucky team, I don't know, like you weren't there for long. I think you played 3 games or something. Did you play with Matt Bradley, Ottawa guy? He played 1 game, but I don't know if it was during your
I don't know. I don't think so. Like, obviously I know Matt well and stuff, but I don't remember. I think he's younger than me. So I don't think I would have played with him. I played like
really
what a place that was in Lexington. Like, man, that was, if you loved horses and stuff, like Kentucky Derbies, like that was awesome. The guys were set up there. It was an incredible spot. I got my jerseys, pretty cool jerseys too. I don't know if you've ever seen those thoroughbred jerseys. Anyways, it's pretty cool.
I feel like I have, but
Thoroughbreds
didn't want to leave.
Thoroughbreds.
You're like, no, guys, I'm good here. You probably wanted to stay on the farms.
Yeah. No, we're good here. I just remember going down though. I do remember, and I always see this when I was like development coach for the Sens, and I remember getting sent down. And I just remember, like, I think I had like a whole bunch of pimps because I was like, I'm not staying here. I'm going to fight my way out. I'm not staying in this league. Like, I am leaving somehow. And I remember just getting into a bunch of fights and just doing everything, hitting everybody. I'm like, I'm not staying here. I just remember telling young guys, like, I was just, you start panicking. It's like, I got a good taste in the NHL. Now they send me down. And I was like, I am not staying here. I'm going to find a way to get them to call me back up. And it worked out and never went back. So
we were doing our chit chat after golf yesterday, talking about stuff. I think playing in the minors is good for everybody. Like, I think it just builds character, appreciation for the game, appreciation for the NHL. We're kind of talking around the table. I think Ben Hutton, he's like, yeah, I played 4 games in the American League. It's not a year. Not a year in the American League. And Stoner started chirping him, but it's true. Like, I remember my coach, I had Barry Melrose in Adirondack, and he goes, you fucking guys, you're bitching and belly aching about playing in the American Hockey League. When you look back, you're going to think, man, those were some fun years. And it was true, though. Like, I look back at my American League days, it was so much fun. You hated being there. But
that's because you woke up in somebody else's house.
That
that is true. I told that story yesterday at a rookie party, Donald, in first rookie party ever in the minors. And rookie party in the American League is a lot different than rookie party in juniors, whatever. But the first time I ever had this drink called Goldschlager. You ever have Goldschlager?
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yes. For anybody listening that doesn't know what Goldschlager is, it does some tricks on you. So the veterans in Adirondack, Detroit's farm team, didn't make you, but it's like you do what you do in the shots, and before you know it, you're pretty hammered. So they put you in a cab, and I lived in this complex up in the Adirondack Mountains with a guy named Stewie Malgunas, great guy from Prince George. We had great times at this place, but all the houses kind of looked the same. It was a little apartment complex. So I get home, and I know Stewie's home. I can't get in the house. I've had too much Goldschlager. I'm pounding on the door. Stewie, let me in. And I know he's in there. And I'm like, you bastard. I go, let me in the house. And all of a sudden I say, that's it. I'm just going to break the door down. So I back up and I run. All of a sudden the door goes flying open. I'm lying on the ground. Door's off its hinges. I look up. I go, that's not my couch. I broke the door down in a house probably 5 complexes over. I got dropped off at the wrong house. So I take the door, I put it back on its hinges, I put it up nicely, and I sneak out of the house. And I don't know what ever happened, but I didn't go back.
Well, nowadays you'd just be shot.
Yeah.
You would do that and you might not make it. But
and it'd be on video, Don.
It'd be on video for sure. I remember I had an apartment in Pittsburgh when I played there. Talk about like strength, and I kind of went lower rent there. My wife was traveling back and forth for work, whatever. And I remember every night there was like a lineup, and I never met my neighbor, but they were like connected houses. But the guy was a drug dealer. He was like a pharmaceutical rep, and he would like sell drugs at night. And there was like a lineup of cars. I come home at 2 a.m, and anyways, talk about being shot. I always saw one of these days somebody's going to be bad about what they bought or didn't get, and they're going to show up they're going to come to my apartment. I remember I went to his house to meet him, and I had to go through a bouncer before I got up into his place in Pittsburgh. But anyways, you should spend more on rent than that. But I should
have lived with Mario.
Yeah, Mario. I should have played. Yeah, Mario didn't. Yeah, I don't think he'd have me. I wasn't Crosby.
You played with Mario, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mario's awesome. What a great guy. I love Mario. Like the nicest. He wanted to go to, like, he loved the boys, and he loved those guys. He's fancy and he's like a good looking big guy, and you just think like, man, he's going to be too cool. He wanted to go out all the time. He drank wine. He wasn't a beer drinker, but every night he had Marc Bergevin, who would set up the restaurant bar every night for games. And we would stay out every night. He was our owner too. So we were never going to bed before the owner, right? You got to stay out and hang out with the owner, captain, best player. But what a season. Like, we didn't have a great season. We helped them get Crosby. But the point was that it was a fun year. And Mario was so, especially in cities where people didn't recognize him, like down south in the U.S. as much, then he'd really go out and have a good time. He was a great guy.
Is Mario Lemieux the best player you ever played with?
Like the best player I ever played with in their prime was Peter Forsberg and Patty Waugh. But like the best player is Mario. Like, I didn't get to play with Gretzky, but it'd have to be Mario, right? I mean, I remember in practice, everybody's so excited because we had a whole bunch of new guys there. And he went 1-on-1 against Jamie Pusher, and he goes down the 1-on-1. You should never beat an HLD man. Mario's going half speed because he'd already gone through battles of cancer and retirements, and he was older at the time. And anyways, the first and he just comes down, does a toe drag, slow-mo, puts it through his triangle to his backhand, push he can't reach, backhand shelf, top shelf goal. Like that was, and everybody's just watching, going, "How the hell did he just do that?" It was incredible. And then every practice, not that he practiced a lot, he was just, he had 60 points or something like in 40 games, and he'd gone through all that. He's just, and on the power play, I'd always watch him from the bench. And I'm like, why is nobody going at him? Because he usually played down low by the goal line, but he's on the half wall. And I remember David Karpa jumped out at him, and he just put it between his feet, backdoor one-timer for Kovalev or whoever was out there. And I was like, okay, that's why they don't go.
It's so true. Like I remember exactly what you're talking about. Like when I played against Mario Lemieux, you would be nervous to go at him because if you did, he somehow could put it through your legs or your stick. And because of that reach, he'd be around you, and you're like, then you couldn't get him. You'd get body position. But yeah, I totally see that because I remember it's like back off.
And once he was so strong that once he got by you, you weren't going to make up for it for strength, like ever, right? Yeah. Like, and even he had that long and big mallet of a stick, and it was big, heavy wood stick. I remember in practice, like you try to like stick lift him when his stick, when the stick's quite a bit away from your body, you're kind of reaching. But he was like a man. Like you go to lift it and you can't lift it. And he was just as strong as you are and tight to your body. He was strong that way out. And he just was so classy and made it look so easy. And I remember he'd draw penalties, and he was a competitor. I remember there was one game I was supposed to play with him. And was it Steve McKenna or Sean McKenna? The tough guy. Steve
McKenna. He's so funny.
So Mario, I swear to God, he tells me we're going to play Boston. He's like, Dono, he goes, tonight you're going to play a lot in the defensive zone for us, our line. And he goes, just get the puck up to me by the red line once we start breaking out. And he goes, go to the net with your stick on. And it sounds like a joke or something guys would say for fun. But like he literally told me that. I couldn't sleep for pregame because I was so nervous. And then I come to the rink and my name's off the board and Steve McKenna's in there. And Steve McKenna, he got 2 goals that night.
Steve had 9 that season.
Yes, and 2 with Mario. Those are my goals. They're not his.
Were you on was that the year Mario Lemieux had the really bad back too and couldn't tie his skates?
Well, he didn't finish the season. Like he made it to like if I remember correctly, I think he was done in February or January or December. But how many points did he have?
He had 91 points in 67 games.
Yeah. Okay. So he played more than I thought. So yeah.
But I can tell you when he ended that season. But we got to move on only because we've got Shawn Rivers, coming on. And I want to ask you about this current Sens team, since you have helped develop them into the players they are. No, I'm serious. What is your most proud player development?
All time, or guys?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with all time first.
The coolest kid, and they're all fun. Like it was a lot of years. This is the first year in 14 years I didn't do dev camp, so that was it was nice to be able to do the farming without like running back and forth. But missed it. But a kid like Parker Kelly, undrafted, coming in, and man, what a great attitude he had, and I love the way he did it. I remember him coming to camp. And we kind of challenged him, you can't be friends with the vets. They're going to kind of befriend you at camp, and you're going to have to go hell through one camp to make the team. And I remember it was like second or third camp. It was kind of like the vets against the young guys in an exhibition game. And he had everybody, like Brady Tkachuk had him on the ice, cross-checking him in the face. Like they all wanted to kill him. But he did enough where at the end, all those guys wanted him on the team. And he did everything you'd asked. And he was so much fun to work with because he'd be calling and interested. But all those top end players were so fun to work with because they were always, you didn't have to chase them. You could tell the difference between a good prospect and a bad, you never had to chase them. Like Jake Sanderson, you didn't have to chase. Like he was always like finding the next best thing and how to get better. And he's training with Quinn Hughes in the summer. And if he's not training with him, he's going to find Crosby or, those guys. But Parker Kelly's just interesting because he was undrafted. And so there wasn't a lot of hope, there's so much hope in as far as like the team. They always push their first rounders the most and then second rounders. And then as you go down less and less, and everybody's like, yeah, sure. We hope everybody makes it, but there's pressure in the organization to get those top guys to make it. And when a guy who's undrafted comes to your camp and gets a contract and then makes it, and through being the top hardest worker in development camp and like, I mean, that's not an easy thing to do. The deck is stacked against you for sure.
He just
pushed
signed.
the hardest.
What's that?
Who did you push the hardest?
You know what? My first client was Nick Paul. And I remember going to this job was so new back then. And Randy Lee's the one that got me, kind of hired me. And Randy was great because he really cared about the prospects. And I remember going to North Bay and watching Nick Paul play. And after the game, I was like, what am I doing? Like, what does a development guy do? Because there was no model for it. It wasn't big back. So I was like, in my head, I'm watching the game. I'm going, what am I going to say to this kid? So after the game, I remember, hey, Nick, and he was kind of talking to his family. I'm Shawn Donovan. I'm going to help you in your career, I guess. Help you along the way. And he's like, oh, okay, nice meeting you. And so he didn't even know who I was or what I was. But, I mean, I spent so much time with him and got to know him, and he's a great kid. But I just remember, kind of his third year, and I built up enough trust with him where he was at practice, and I was kind of like, Nick, are we going to figure this out, man? You're too good of a player to be playing in the minors. Like you just are. Like, you're making $80,000 here. You could be making $2 million. And it's not about that. For him, it was about playing in the NHL. You know what? And then he kind of was snarky because he was mad. He was where he was. He's like, oh, you just want maybe a fourth line plug? And I was like, Nick, and we got at it, and I was like, Nick, no, see Chris Kelly over there? That was a third, fourth line plug. The guy made a sick career. He's captain of Team Canada, won a bronze medal, went to 3 cup finals, got a cup ring. You don't want to be him. You should be him. And not that talk changed anything, but yeah, it was just Nick was my first player, and we got after it in little ways. And I don't know if he likes me today, but I know that I cared about him, and I just really tried to push every button I could to help him get there. And you know what? Talking about playing the minors, Nick Paul played the right amount of time in the minors. They didn't rush him because he got traded for the Spezza deal, and then I think that was Brian Murray's deal, and then Pierre. And that's the way deals work in the NHL. Sometimes when you make a deal for somebody, you try to make those guys look better. And so I don't think there was a lot of pressure to make Nick. I mean, there was and there wasn't. As much as if he's your guy. So he ended up spending. I think he spent the right amount. I truly believe that guys are rushed through the minors too much.
Yeah.
And Nick Paul spent enough time, and now he's a second line center on a team that has a chance to win a cup. And he's a great player. And man, I had very minimal to do with his career, but man, it was fun being a part of it. Just trying to help him.
We got Shawn Rivers standing by. Either I'm welcoming you to stay, or you can go back to the farm if you want. Which do you?
Whatever you guys.
Rivers. Dono, Rivers is running an Ironman. Did you hear about this?
Could you just wait till he comes on?
Yeah, Donald's a massive runner. I didn't know Rivers was doing this. I think this is awesome. But
skinny he is. He's
so
skinny.
Right,
hey, you stop. Let's welcome in Shawn Rivers to the show. Shawn.
Hey, fellas, how are you?
Nice to see you.
We could barely see you, Rivers. You're so skinny.
Yeah. Actually, that's not true. I'm carrying a little extra for the day of. I'm worried that I'm going to run out of fuel, so I'm trying to carry a little wheel around the middle.
Is that how it works? You carry a little bread basket in case you have to dip into it when you're running?
Yeah, I think if you saw the the menu that they expect you to take in the day of, it's ridiculous. You got to feed yourself every 15 minutes once you get out of the water. Actually, you start at 3 a.m. when you get up, and they want you to fuel pretty much. I hired a guy that was the previous Ironman, and all he does is coach, for events like this, and he's got the full menu set out, and it's pretty incredible how many calories you got to take in and how many you're going to lose during the day.
Okay, so for those people just tuning in, Shawn, just tell people what you're doing, actually, instead of me having to do it.
Well, a few years ago, I started doing these small triathlons, and I got to be honest with you. I mean, I think it was my wife who said, "Hey, I think you should give this a try," and I did, because we live right in Britannia Beach area. The first one I ever did was right there, Britannia Beach. So you swim, open water, then you bike, and then you run. And then, there's different levels of triathlons that you can do. You can do tries and work your way up to an Olympic distance. Then you could do a half Ironman, and then sort of the big daddy of them all is the Ironman. And so I progressed over time to get to this. In September, I did the half Ironman last year in Montreal. And it was an eye opener for sure. The distances were pretty, significant. And I realized after that I needed a coach. There was no way I could get through what was to be expected. So the full Ironman is a 4-kilometer swim, open water, 180K bike. And then you got to get off and run a full marathon all consecutively in the same day.
Give me a rough time of how long that's going to take you.
So I'm actually shooting to finish before sunset. So I'm trying to do it in like 12 and a half to 13 hours.
And why are you doing this, Ribs?
Well, I needed some meaning to it, so that's why I did. I sort of attached the charitable angle with first assist, and I thought it'd be a great way to bring awareness to John Shabbat's charity. John, is a fellow alumni of ours and has started a charity that goes up north and does a lot of work in remote communities. And I thought, I need a bit of a reason to do this.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty overwhelming. People have been very supportive, and I'm really grateful for the amounts that they've donated. And it's kind of kept me on task those days where I truly don't feel like training. Because I got to tell you guys, I'm really tired of training right now. It's kind of hit an absolute threshold of my tolerance.
The one thing I found interesting is you love to play hockey, obviously. You're not even risking injury at the moment.
Exactly. I can't. I think about maybe about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I said, okay, no more playing hockey. I didn't want to tweak a groin or like twist an ankle or anything. I mean, part of the problem with the Ironman is most people started with a small nagging injury. And if you try and endure that full day, whatever injury you think you're hiding for the first couple hours, like it's coming out. So I've done everything I can along the way to just try and stay injury free, so that if I can get to the line injury free, that's your best shot of getting it done. And I'm expecting, if it's going to be crazy humid weather like it is, it's already going to be, a bit of a cramp fest, I'm sure, the day of. So the last thing I needed was an injury going in.
Crazy.
What's the hardest part, Rivs? Like the bike or the swim? What are you best at? The swim or the run? What's your expertise?
I think I'm probably best at the run, only because I've done the running a little bit longer. I've done a couple of marathons, and I've been doing some halves for a few years. The swim is intimidating. I don't care who you are. When you get in the water around 2,000 other competitors and you look down and you see nothing but dark, there's something intimidating about that. I don't care whether you're in 8 feet of water or if it's 100 feet of water. It gets my heart rate up every single time. And in fact, this morning I did an open water swim down at Britannia, and the current was a little stronger than I expected. And coming back, you start to, like, you can get yourself into a bit of a panic, or, you can get yourself worrying in the water more than any of the other ones. The bike is just long and hard, 7-8 hours on a bike. I don't care. That seat's not comfy, boys. It's not comfy at all.
Rivs, you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for the muskies in the Ottawa River. They're gonna snap your toes off.
Yeah. Well, I swam through some geese today, and I thought they were gonna go after me. And I was like, well, wouldn't that be funny, getting just pounded by some geese on my open water swim?
That's pretty good.
Does this mean no pickleball at Britannia? You can't do any pickleball?
No, I'm not a pickleball guy. I can't do it.
Yeah,
and I'm no good at it. And, with my luck, I would twist an ankle. Imagine that. I had to pull out of the Ironman because of pickleball.
A lot of people are getting hurt. People are blowing out Achilles. They're hurting tons of injuries. My whole crew of guys, Donald, all those guys, they're all getting hurt.
That's because you know why? They're all Tommy tryhards. I went there to have a good time, and then they wouldn't let me play.
Rivs, if people want to donate the first assist, how do they do it?
So I threw it up on LinkedIn. It's also on Facebook, Instagram. I sort of went with the CanadaHelps.org. It's under First Assist or under my name, under Shawn Rivers. The link I can send to you guys after. You can send it out and share it if you want. It's pretty simple. It's a little bit of background on First Assist and what they do and how challenging it is for them to get into some of these remote communities.
Yeah.
And I find it inspiring to see, the level of commitment that they've had over the years to try and get into these spots that nobody else is going into. And as a really great example, my son is in Grassy Narrows right now, helping them out with some coaching on a summer clinic. And, he flew to Winnipeg and then he had to drive, I think 3 hours or something to Kenora and then another hour. Like it's crazy. The remoteness to get to where they execute some of this programming is insane. And I think that's the challenge they have, is trying to get enough funds for the travel part. Very expensive flights. And so I don't know. I thought it was a really, really good charity to attach to. It's small but powerful. I love it.
And for people that don't know, and we know this, you and I and Donald, our Sens alumni is really tied in with First Assist. We do a lot of stuff with them. It's a great initiative, as Riv said, and it's helping a lot of people that are really less fortunate.
Yeah, and I think what's, just like everything in life, I guess, time keeps ticking, but it's been around a long time. It's just flown under the radar for so many years. I think that was founded 15 or 16 years ago, and it's been doing quiet work for quite a while. They did get their charitable status in 2020, which has really, I think, made it easier for people to donate and to get involved. But there's it's such a long-standing story of small successes. So I think it's impressive just how long they've been around. And I'm doing my best to just try and bring some awareness to them.
Awesome.
Rivs, I do have a question just about alumni games. I hear that perhaps either Chris Neal or Sean Donovan are the hardest working or trying hardest on the ice during alumni games.
You want me to throw this out and pick a side?
Yes, I do.
This?
Yes.
Well, where does Laurie Boschman fit in? If we're gonna name Dono and Nealer, like I don't know. I feel like Bosch, he's very concerned about the scoring title, and so I feel like he's always got a second assist on anything that goes in on the other side. So I don't know. I feel like you'd have to throw him in the conversation if you're gonna do that.
Well, and he's president, correct? Like he still gets to control all that.
Yeah, he controls the lines. When we go play a certain team, depending on the skill level on the other side, it's interesting to see the lines he puts together. He's got the last say, though, eh, Dono?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, you always hear after the game how many points Bosch got. I didn't even remember being on the ice, but somehow you remember the one year we had Nealer out there though for points, and we just wouldn't pass the puck to him, and he wanted to get because he's trying to catch Bosch in the old time alumni scoring, and Nealer was not happy with us that game. But Bosch, he tells us he's the leading scorer all time for the alumni. We're not sure about it, but go with it.
That's funny.
Yeah. The thing with Bosch, this is what I find so crazy. Laurie Boschman is one of the nicest guys around. Doesn't swear. He's a very religious guy. He's just a wonderful, wonderful person. When he played, he was one of the biggest pricks on the ice, like dirty, would fight. Hey, Rivs, like he was not a nice guy to play against.
You know what? He still throws around the hook every Wednesday when we play, and the guys are they're pretty quick. Guys who are just finishing up, or guys who are playing, university or junior, come back at Christmas or something, and Bosch will just wedge that, he'll sink it right in. He's not afraid to get the thigh right into the kid's ribs still. So
Bosch had 2,200 penalty minutes in 1,009 games.
Yeah. He's a bastard on the ice.
He had 2 seasons of 200 pims.
He had to survive the Western Hockey League back in the day when it was messy. Point. The stories Bosch has of just trying to survive in Flin Flon, and it's crazy, right? Like And he's still like I don't think he's watched a game lately because he has not adapted to the new rules. He doesn't understand there is no hooking and holding anymore.
Yeah.
He's
Donna, what's the story? Who were the guys out in the Western League back then that stole the nets from the other team during warm up? You ever hear this one, Rivs? I think it was Ken Baumgartner.
Dave Manson, maybe.
Yeah, like they used to go on like back when the Western League was just a jungle. Like they would have the reason there's referees now on the warm-ups now is because of times like back in the Western League where the other team would go out, steal the other team's net, bring it down to their zone. There'd be a brawl and warm-up. Like it was nuts. Can you imagine that happening today? Go take the other team's net during warm-up.
I love it. I think it'd be pretty good intimidation. There's a few guys that could use it.
Yeah.
You guys didn't do that in Sudbury? Hey, Rivs? You didn't do that? You didn't try that in Sudbury? Take the nets and warm up?
Oh, in Sudbury. You know what? When playing in Sudbury, the rivalry was so big with North Bay an hour away that there were more fights in the stands in either building when we played. It was, it was all the blue collar guys just coming out of the Lido in Sudbury and getting one on. You could see the layer of smoke all in the top of the building from all the cigs. I mean, it was pretty old school. It was like right out of Slapshot for sure.
That's so good. I want to ask you about. I went through your hockey DB to check just to see who you had played with along the way. Did you play with Manon Rayon? Was she on the roster when you were there? I think it's Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah. So she was in Tampa when I was there for that same training camp and preseason and all that stuff. And then they sent her to Atlanta, and she spent the whole year with us. And talk about breaking barriers. It was. For us, it was no big deal. We were all rookies, so we probably had 7 or 8 guys who were pure rookies on that team. But then for the real veteran guys who were sent down, guys who'd been around the league for a long time, they were not happy with it. They thought the publicity stunt should have stayed in Tampa and lived and died along with it right there, not send her along to Atlanta. And there were a lot of guys who were really not cool with it. And I said it, I think at the golf tournament a few weeks ago, I give her full credit. When she had to go in and take her shots in the net, third goalie, usually getting the worst of the worst or having to stick around for the guys who are already angry that they're not playing and having to take extra shots or drills after practice. I have to be honest with you, she stood in there and saw absolute rockets and never, ever pulled herself. It was pretty astonishing. Looking back, pretty embarrassing behavior, I think, some of it, to be honest. I guess there was just a time and place, and it was real early. What was that when you checked on the thing? 93 maybe? Or something?
92, 93, somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, and so there wasn't a lot of, there wasn't the spotlight that there is now on women's hockey, and so I mean she was really an anomaly. I can only say good things about her because you know what, she hung in there and she kind of stayed to herself. She did her thing. She never tried to make it about her, and so I tip my hat to her, and I know she's probably had a lot of success after hockey with having done what she's done, and I know she does public speaking and stuff now. So I'm pretty happy to say that I did play with her and that I knew her.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, at the time, what a story that was. I can just remember just watching it, going, "Wow, like this is kind of neat to see." But I remember all the backlash because of the knuckle draggers. Quick question online, gentlemen, from any of you. Alfie's mullet wants to know who leads the alumni in PIMS.
Oh, boys.
Oh, PIMS. Maybe Vanner. Vanner, he gets angry out there.
Well, it would have been historically, it would have been Ted Bully for sure, but he hasn't played in a while, so I don't know. They don't call many. They let a lot go.
Yeah.
What about Johnny Barrett? Maybe Johnny Barrett's up there.
Johnny Barrett, yeah, he puts the 2x4 in you on the way by plenty of times.
He
Yeah,
hooked me
yeah.
one time. I remember
Oh,
I
I'll
played
bet.
one alumni game somewhere, and he just put his stick into my gloves and pulled, and that was it. I was down. I was like, "Come on, man! I can barely skate."
My favorite's when you try and go around one of those big guys like Johnny Barrett, Freddie, back in the day, Brad Marsh, and you think, oh, I got plenty of room to go around the outside, and then they just kind of put the stick out there and hold it with two hands, and it's like sort of trying to get by a 2x6 on the way by. It is interesting how they can make the rink much, much, much smaller than you think it is.
It's back in vogue now in the NHL. Everyone's getting big.
I know.
Big D are in style again.
I see that. Yeah.
That's what I said. All right, Rivers, I'll let you go. I know you just got home, I think, yesterday from the Stampede. Thank you for jumping on. I will say one of the most obscure stories but coolest things I've ever done was I covered Pat LaFontaine running an Ironman in Panama City Beach, Florida, many moons ago, and I was amazed how hard that was. And because I'm standing around all day watching, and I'm like, he's still running. Like, it was dark when he got through, and so hats off to you. I think that's an amazing accomplishment.
Good luck, Rivs. If I don't see you, man.
Good luck.
Thanks, fellas. I'll see you on the other side.
Thanks, pal. Appreciate it.
Peace.
Don't forget, you guys can go to First Assist and donate if you want to help out Shawn Rivers, or check out CanadaHelps.ca. Thanks, Sean. We'll talk soon, my friend.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Have a great summer.
See you, pal.
Dono, have you been to the Britannia Yacht Club yet to play pickleball with the boys?
They brought me there once, and it was Paul LeBrew and Stanton, and they're like experts, $700 rackets. I show up my little plastic rackets, and they just beat me down. So it was just I was there, but I just got embarrassed. I wasn't allowed in the club, just in the courts. That's it.
Yeah. You know who's a pretty good pickleball player is Bonky, Radek Bonk.
Oh, sick hands. Spins the ball, eh?
Oh, he's got good mitts. He's like a giant grizzly at the net. You can't get the ball by him. Just so easy.
Well, he likes tennis, right? Not a big golfer.
Yeah, he's a tennis guy.
Yeah.
He was a sick biker too. He's a really good cyclist. He used to cycle a lot.
Oh, remember that? Back in the day, I got into it a little bit, but we had a good little cycling group of guys. Donald, Rob Orange, who's one of the best cyclists, and used to go with Rob, eh? And LeBron.
They used to take us to Catskills. They'd have early training in the Catskills, and we go up for like 3-4 days. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And just up and down, those guys are just like kind of the start of the season for them. And the thing that I thought was so cool there is the drivers had so much respect for, like, you got guys in gun racks and goatees, and they'd follow you for like 10 minutes, give you a honk and buzz by you. The roads here were dangerous. You get some old lady just ready to give you the finger on the way by, like at 7 a.m. and outside a carp. And I was like,
okay. I gotta tell this one story, Donald. Like I know we've been going at it a while. This is pretty funny. Donald knows the story I'm gonna tell. We went for a bike ride. It was back when we all were biking, and we had the bike suits. It was me, Noonan. Who went that day? We went up to the Gatineau Hills. It was you, me, Noonan, and Stanton, I think. And we biked up to the Gatineau Park. And on the way back, like, Donald doesn't wear a bike outfit, no helmet. I think he's got like jean shorts on. And he doesn't bring any water. He brings no water. Like, we've all got water, Gatorade.
What's it with you in jeans? Anyway, go ahead.
I might be exaggerating. He didn't have jean shorts on, but it kind of makes the story better. Jean shorts and no shirt. A farmer's hat. So we go up to the Gatineau Hills, and on the way back, we're almost back to Noonan's house in Carp. Donald's on the bike, and all of a sudden, he just can't go anymore because he hasn't drank any water. He's severely dehydrated, and the bike just goes and it falls right over. And Donald's done. Like, his body won't move anymore. Like why? How was it? Were you that dehydrated?
No, you know what it was? We stopped like 10 minutes before because I was dehydrated. It was one of those hot days. And for some reason, I'd read somewhere that the cyclists drink Coke. And so, like, I just chugged Coke, and that didn't help. It didn't help at all. It should have, I guess. I don't know. And I remember sitting down. It's the first time and only time where my muscles were like contracting and they were like vibrating. You can see like the muscles, like, anyways, like cramping. And I could actually see that. Anyways, it was kind of. But anyways, 2 minutes later, I was back at her. But it was I had to get off the bike.
We were almost at Noonan's house, and we put the bike, and the bike got they had to go get the pickup truck, put the bike in the pickup truck, load Dono in the truck, take off, get some fluids in him. Like oh my God, that was crazy. The body just seized right up, couldn't go anymore.
I seized up. Yeah, I remember that day.
Oh, you still biking any at all?
No, like probably like 4 years. It just honestly the worst thing was the traffic. Like whenever I look, I always think like, man, they want people to get in shape and stuff like that, and they have no shoulder to bike on. And the country roads and anywhere that's nice to bike on, there's I guess in the city's better, but I don't live there. But even in Carp and stuff, we go down like Diamond View and all these roads, like they were awesome farm country and all that. But like you had no shoulder. And I remember I got buzzed by a bus. I could have touched it like 6 inches away. And if I go down, I'm going under the bus. And I was like, I don't know, this isn't that much fun, like, but I always think what would the cost be just to add a little like 5-foot shoulder on each side on country roads, and then you get more people biking around, right? Like even kids would, but I don't know. It's probably too
you can bike on the Parkway all weekend as they shut it down for 7 people. Anyway, don't get me started.
Wally, you like that kind of stuff, though. Wally
don't shut down the Parkway. No, it just doesn't make sense. There's enough trouble to get around this city, and there's paths right next on the canal. Just bike on the canal. Anyway, it doesn't make sense to me.
Listen, Wally, we have in Westboro, there's bike paths. They've shrunk the streets. They got little bike paths everywhere, the things up. And then all the bikes are driving on the walking path.
So I'm driving through to come to the golf course yesterday. So I'm coming through your neighborhood, and the stakes are up, and there's a trailer and a truck in front of me with like and he's taking down every stake as he drives by.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Okay.
You need a PhD to follow those things.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Yes. Okay. Before I get in trouble, I got to take care of some business just bear with me. Yorkie, I'm just going to you know what? You can do it. You start with BEI.
Yeah. Thanks to our good people at BEI. Donnie, you like the people at BEI up in Renfrew. It's a great company.
He knows
people.
Mark Enright.
Yeah. Mark's the best.
They trade hay or something. Do you not?
I bug him. I text him all the time about farm advice. I'm sure he's sick of listening to me, but I try to get in touch. He's the nicest man ever. He's got a million boys playing hockey. Like what a family. Great.
So anyway, we're all part of the BEI family. Go ahead.
So if you want farm advice, give Mark a call. And also you can call BEI for equipment rentals, aggregate, topsoil, custom crushing, screening, hot mix paving. So when you're planning your next project, please consider BEI for all your aggregate supply needs. You can hit them up at 613-432-1120 or at bonishirexcavating.com.
Also, they are hiring. So go on their website if you want, bonishirexcavating.com, and check them out. They're hiring. And our show is proudly presented to you, as always, by Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app, get in on the game, use code NATION. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. Quick question. And Donald, if you've got to go, don't let us keep you any longer. But if the chickens are fed, you can stay. So if you go to Bet365, you can bet on who you think is going to play in the Stanley Cup final.
Oh,
like Ottawa and you can pick all the most of the teams are there, if you will. Would you pick an Ottawa Vegas final? And it's like the odds are like plus 22,500. So if a $10 bet would give you like $2,250 ish.
Better than putting it into a bad stock from an NHL dressing room.
Who do you two
nice
think
Northern Ontario gold stock?
It's Brie-X. Who do you two think will be in the Cup final as of July 10th?
Oof.
Wow. Do we just start with Florida and then pick?
Who did the Dallas Stars hire for the new coach?
Glenn Gulletson. Yes.
Dallas is too good not to be dealing with that roster. I think I'd put Dallas in the final with the new coach. Maybe. I don't know. The West is so tough though. It's like
I just feel it's a Florida and team. So
Florida's not going back again. There's no way. That's so hard to do.
I hate to say it, but I think Marner's going to have some success there. Just change of scenery, and Stoney's going to take him under his wing. And I don't know. I think Vegas is, West, it's so hard. Like Winnipeg lights up in the regular season and then can't get her done in playoffs. But like Dallas is too good. They draft so well. Rantanen's going to be there for the season.
And they keep coming up short.
I know. Well, I don't think they're tough enough. I think everybody talks about like teams being physical enough. I think in the end, they didn't have any jam. Nobody went at the big boy McDavid during the series. Like if you want to win bad enough, somebody you gotta get after him. So you get in his grill just like Marchand did, and they didn't want to do that in Dallas. And until they kind of address that, and I know Ben didn't look the same as usual, and he usually does a lot of heavy lifting on the physical side, but. Man, they got to get rattier if they're going to win, in my opinion. Like, really finish it off.
And didn't they just get rid of Mason Marchand?
Yes,
and he was kind of ratty.
Yeah, he was somebody that could bring it in. I think that's what. I mean, they're good enough, they're skilled enough, and Jim Neal does such a good job as GM there. And top to bottom, they draft well. They do a great job with free agents, and they manage kind of like all three layers of young guys, old guys, and middle guys. But then they got a goalie. They got Ottinger the goal, but I just don't think they're hard enough. I think that's the difference between them winning and not winning.
Yes. So last question I have for you is the famous last question. Do you like this current roster of the Ottawa Senators going into this season? And you probably know, like I don't know how much you've watched like Jordan Spence in the past, because I know you are following the minors a bit and you've seen Jordan play a little bit. And I know he's not always in the minors, but do you know anything about Jordan Spence and what do you think of this group? And I know you know Marilainen very well.
Peter McTavish is Spence's agent, so I hear a lot about him. Just his battle for ice time with Brent Clark in LA, and just he's a good player, and he's gonna add a lot, and he's got skill, and it was a good pickup, especially for what they traded him for. But yeah, no, I mean that lineup's just gonna get better. They're young and they've had a taste of it, and they came up, one game short against a team who went one game short, or one game short against the Florida Panthers who ended up winning. So for sure, it's all about Allmark, Marilainen. Goaltending's everything. Just making sure Allmark's healthy this season, and they got some depth on D now, and they got some older guys. It was forever when I was kind of around, and we had younger teams, and we were in a rebuild. It was always, just trying to get older guys around to help them, and we stayed a little too young. As the young guys kind of trying to lead the young guys, and now you get the Cousins, which is a great re-sign, and Perron, and even Jensen and Monty Paulo's an older young guy. And I don't know, it's just nice that they got some older guys in there to help those young guys. And they got a taste. So this should be a big bump for them next season, big time. But of course,
this may not be a fair question because you're close to it, obviously, is as the organization kind of passed by Mad Sogard, if you will.
I think for goalies, you always got to wait until they're 27. You have a 6'9" package that's athletic, and he for surely has not had the the season he wanted. And I think he sorted some things out where I hear that he's on a real good path, and he's going to get a chance. And he's going to have Shepherd there, who's won 2 Calder Cups, pushing him, and Hershey, which is a great depth goalie. I watched him at he won 2 titles. He went to 3 NCAA championships at Minnesota Duluth. Like, unbelievable goalie, fun to watch. Different kind of style, battler. He was a captain of the team, which is crazy, but in college. But I just think Sogi is probably in a better spot mentally. And those guys, goalie's one of the hardest positions other than pitcher in baseball, to QB in football. That, man, it doesn't work for everybody early. But when you have a goalie that's that athletic, and he's supposedly had a really good summer, and man, if he's got his head into it, I mean, if you don't take a chance on him, somebody else will, and it may work out for them.
Okay, last question. I know you guys got to go. Tyler Kleven, do you like him as a player and the way he's developed? And then we'll move on.
Oh, I love Kleven. Kleven's a quiet kid, and I mean, you see him playoffs, you just want him to take a step. He's understanding what he is, because he's got enough skill. He's got a good shot, and he was a good college player that they always want to do more than be a good, hard defense. But I mean, everybody's paying for those guys, and you need those guys to win. So what he showed in playoffs, if he just builds on that, everybody's going to be pretty excited. And I know that obviously I'm not part of it, but the organization would be pretty excited with his development.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we appreciate it. Thanks, Donovan. Thanks for staying by.
You couldn't shake me. You tried to shake me.
It's like morning. Next time, just grab a coffee. It's just like a morning little chit chat, eh? Just tell some stories, sit around,
do chores, come out, do this. Just a little free from the weather.
All right, I gotta go. We gotta wrap it up. Gotta go meet LeBro.
So does this mean I didn't make it into the good guy club after golf yesterday?
Well, it's tough. It's tough because, as Donald knows, like Donald's the president of the Spencerville chapter. So right now, the chapter president of Stittsville is Brad Brown.
Oh,
like, he's a pretty good guy. Like Brownie's a pretty good guy.
Oh,
like,
this says a lot.
So, like, we'd have to bump Brownie out, Donald. Like, do we bump Brownie out and put Wally in? Like,
well, I don't need to be president of the chapter. I just
now you can have him as a vice president. He'd love to have him.
we gotta get Brownie on the show. He listens every day. Every time.
Oh, yeah.
He walks his dog by my house all the time.
He's the best. I love Brownie.
All right. We'll see you on Monday. Big guest Monday coming. You won't want to miss it. We'll tell you about it then. See you Monday, 9 a.m. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks, Dono, and thanks to Shawn Rivers for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks, Dono.
And to Jake, our good producer. See you, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to Coming In Hot. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to never miss an episode.